What's going on, everyone? Anthony here with HG Toys, and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are reviewing the Power Rangers Cross Street Fighter Lightning Collection Morphed Chun or Blazing Phoenix Ranger. Now, if you guys are unaware, this is based off a video game that was released a few years ago. She is like another character in that like Power Rangers fighting style game. I think she's like DLC or like an unlockable character. I'm not quite sure. If you guys remember from my last video, I reviewed the Morphed Ryu figure, which actually came out surprisingly well. I love that figure so much. I love Street Fighter. I love Power Rangers Lightning Collection. I'm not a big fan of the video game. It's not that I hate it. I just haven't really played it, but I do love the concept of these figures. As you can see here, it is in the brand new plastic-free packaging that Hasbro is doing. If you guys remember in my last video, I did a full live unboxing of that. I didn't like cut edit or anything. That's how it came out. I'm not going to do that this one. I think that last video came out to be like 17 minutes or something like that. Something ridiculously long, and you guys watched like 2 minutes of it. So I'm going to go through this real quick. This is the new standard packaging. Power Rangers Cross Street Fighter Lightning Collection up there at the top. You have an unmorphed Chun-Li right here, which I find very pointless because there is no unmorphed head in there. You have the Blazing Phoenix Ranger right here, 3D rendering. On the side, you have the 3D artwork. That is their newer style artwork, but still in the same vein as like the side art. You have a full 3D rendering of the figure at the back and all the accessories that are included. Here is the barcode if you guys want to go to your local GameStop. Once again, this is a fan channel exclusive, so the only retail store you'll be able to find it at is GameStop. Everything else will have to be online. BBTS, Entertainment Earth, GameStop, I think Dorkside Toys and whatnot. So yeah, no Target, no Walmart. Here on the other side, you have an unmorphed artwork. Once again, I think is very pointless. Purple at the top, legalese at the bottom. But enough of this plastic-free packaging. Hopefully this one is a lot better than my Ryu. And yeah, let's see how cool the figure actually is. Okay, and here we have Chun-Li out of packaging, and, well, as expected, she looks just as good as the Ryu figure. But before we get into her, what do you say we take a quick look at all her accessories? So, just like Ryu, she comes with this little triangular base plate that has some peg studs right here for the peg holes at the bottom of her feet. It comes with this little stand that you just kind of port. You take the bigger end, you port it into here at the bottom. And then what goes on these stands is one of two things. You have her regular, I don't know what her blast is called. I'm just going to call it a Hadouken blast. There's a hole right here at the bottom. You go ahead and port that in. And just like that, she can look like she's shooting a fireball once you pose her up correctly. And then the other one that can go on there is, I guess, her Phoenix blast is what I'm going to go ahead and call it. Once again, I don't play the video game, so... But there you have it. It shoots in just like that. That actually looks pretty cool. If you guys have been following me for a long time, you guys know I don't like these lightning effects that most of these figures come with. But so far, these Street Fighter crossover figures have had some of the best lightning effects I've seen thus far. I really like these. They actually make sense. They're not some weird thing. And then her third effect is she comes with this like... if you guys play a Street Fighter game, you know she has like this blazing kick where like she kicks off multiple times. I don't know how this ports in here. I assume her foot just kind of goes in here somehow, like so. But unfortunately for me, my figure comes with very loose joints. Her legs are loose. Her torso is loose, very loose. Her arms are tight. Her neck is a little loose, not too bad, but it's mainly her torso that's extremely loose, and her legs are a little bit looser than that. So I don't think she'll be able to hold up this kick for very long. Maybe this foot. Let me try this foot. Yeah, no, like it just doesn't hold up. So unfortunately, this is the way I wanted to display her. I may have to do something to tighten up these joints, but unfortunately for me, my figure won't be able to hold up the weight of this awesome blast effect. And then last but not least, she comes obviously with her two-fisted hands on her out of packaging, and she kind of comes with these two expressive hands, open palm, not really karate chops, but yeah, just plain white hands. They look really good. So enough of that. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at this figure. Okay, so taking a closer look at this figure, she looks gorgeous. I do love Chun-Li. Her helmet sculpt is not my favorite. It looks kind of weird with these tassels on there. I know what they were going for. That's how she looks without her helmet on, but kind of like how they did with the Ryu bandana. But not my favorite design. They are, I mean, at least I hope they are. Mine are movable. So if you needed to pose where like she's like getting some like moving fast or whatever, they do move around. So like if you didn't like the look of them, you obviously take them off, or you just kind of move them to the back. That way if she's posed like this, you can't really see them. That's kind of like how I like it. But then they look like that from the side. She does come with another shield, just like Ryu. This shield has a lot more sculpting on it. That looks more like a phoenix, which I really love. I love this shield so much. I love how pointy it is. I'm sure a customizer could take this off and put it on like, and make their own like Lord Draken Kimberly Pink Ranger Slayer. That would look really cool. You got the arms band on here. Yeah, these are a separate piece, so they are removable if you need them to be. Ryu didn't come with any. I don't think he has any in the game design, so that's probably why. Her Morpher, not as good as Ryu's, but you can kind of get a glimpse of a Phoenix mold on there, as to where Ryu's you could really see like the Crimson Hawk symbol. This one's not so much. This isn't a gold. I don't know. I guess that's how it's supposed to be. It's not really coming out, but like if you look up here, there's more of a rose gold going on. Right there in the middle of the chest is the same rose gold going on down here. You have these awesome gauntlets that Chun-Li wears. They're not super pokey, like McFarlane level pokey, but they are a little, you know, sharp. They won't hurt, but, you know, if you're having kids play with these, be careful. Obviously, you know, don't want them to like poke their eye out or whatever. And I think they are a separate piece, so you definitely don't want them choking on that if it comes off. Mine look like they're glued on pretty well, but I think just feeling if you pull hard enough, it'll pop right out. Going on to her legs, which is, I think, one of the major complaints about this figure. I know Loretta in the live stream was like, oh, we casted her leg to be really thick, like how it's portrayed in like video games and media and whatnot, but it is thicker than the normal female Power Ranger mold, but honestly, not by very much. Not on the level Chun-Li is. And it's, you know, it's kind of whatever. It's, you know, it's a toy. And they, you know, it's regular retail. Obviously, they can't do too sexist things, is why a lot of like the figures have been toned down over the years. But I feel like they could have gotten away with just a tad bit, being a tad bit thicker. You know, it's Chun-Li. People understand. And this isn't like retail. This is like a fan channel exclusive. But it is what it is. It's not the thickest of legs, but it's definitely thicker than the regular female ones, which I can appreciate them going that extra distance. I know Loretta is probably just working in the confines of her mandate or whatever. But yeah, overall, her little skirt, I guess is what you're going to call it, paint details on it are very nicely done. Same thing with the back, more of that rose gold on here. Bands on her boot are really done nicely. The lines on the side of her pants are done very nicely. Overall, a great Chun-Li figure. Little bit of a shame, once again, that these don't come with the regular head sculpts. Mainly because I display all my Rangers unhelmeted. Because, you know, why not? You know, we don't get unhelmeted heads very often. But overall, still a great figure. I'm sure it's a licensing issue or a cost issue. You know, Hasbro has to make their profit. Capcom has to make their profit. I'm pretty sure they split it somewhere where like, okay, well, you have a bunch of blast effects. You don't need an unhelmeted head. I don't know. It is what it is. So let's go ahead and move on to articulation. Okay, so moving on to articulation, she's just like the Ryu. She has the new base neck. It's not the ball hinge, or it is a ball. This one won't come off. Okay, there we go. It is the same style. It rotates at the base, kind of like leans forward and backwards a little bit. And then you got the dumbbell peg right there at the top. Probably won't be taking that off very often. So it does look up an okay amount, not very well. Looks down a very good amount. Does tilt side to side a lot. We'll do a full 360. The only problem is hers is painted to her costume. So if you don't get it just right, you can have it offline. Just something to be aware of. She does have, you know, your regular hinge shoulders. It'll go out about that far. Not much further than that. She does have butterfly joints, which is very nice. So they'll go, oh, little bit of paint chip coming off. I don't know if you, yeah, right there. Huh? Typical Hasbro, am I right? I don't know where that came off of, but just know that just came off. Okay, so it does have a butterfly joint. We'll go forward about that far. Go back a very good amount. Not as hindered as much as the Ryu was, mainly because the shield is a lot smaller. She does have the torso. No ab crunch, I don't think, but there is a... It almost looks like there was designed to be an ab crunch. I don't know if mine's just not cut correctly or if that's just how it is. I'll have to look into that. But no ab crunch, just the upper torso. I think, yeah, the whole bottom does not move at all. I don't think it was designed to be. I think that's just the design of the costume. So no ab crunch, double jointed pinless elbows. Very nice. I know one of my commenters was like, oh, you know how long it's going to be before females actually implement the double elbows? Buddy, every figure announced after that Dino Charge pink has been double. So you got to give Hasbro credit where credit is due. They're not like the Marvel Legends team where like they're kind of, you know, bringing it out every now and then. They seem to be implementing on every single figure so far. But time will tell how that will keep up. But yeah, double elbows. Pull down or drop down hips, just like Ryu. We'll do the splits about that far. Kick forward a good amount. Kick back an okay amount. Upper thigh swivel. Pinless double jointed knees. Boot cuff. Typical Hasbro ankle rockers. Left, right, forward, backs. Peg holes at the bottom. So the female figures are now on par with articulation of the male figures, which I cannot be more ecstatic about. They sorely needed the double jointed elbows at the very least, but now we got every single thing that the male body mold has. So yeah, great figure. Don't know if it's worth the $35 price point, but that'll be at the end of the video. Let's right now go into some size comparisons. All right, starting off the size comparisons, here we have her standing next to a standard male Power Rangers Lightning Collection figure, and then the Dino Charge Pink Ranger, which set off the newer standard of the female body mold. As you could see here, the legs aren't, they're thicker, but like not by like an outrageous amount. So just so you guys know, it is thicker. They weren't lying. It's just not as thick as us fans wanted it to be. So yeah, moving on. Okay, next we have her right next to her, I guess, character counterpart, Ryu, or the Crimson Hawk Ranger, and the Dino Thunder White Ranger with my selfie Hasbro figure. And last but not least, here we have her next to the Toei Spider-Man Marvel Legends figure and a Star Wars X-Wing Fighter Pilot Black Series figure. All right, final thoughts on this figure. Is she a smash? Is she a pass? I personally would say just hold off for the clearance. At $35, it's an okay figure, but at a $25 figure, this would be perfect. $35 is a hard pill to swallow for a single like regular release figure. I get it. There's licensing fees. There's a lot of effect pieces. But overall, it's still a $35 figure for a non-deluxe figure itself. It just included a bunch of accessories to push it over to that deluxe standpoint. It's a great figure, but definitely they're not sold out yet. You can definitely wait for the clearance. I wouldn't be surprised if GameStop started putting these on clearance very soon. That's just how GameStop seems to work nowadays. Same thing with Dorkside Toys. I got this from BBTS. They are in stock currently at the time of this recording. They do charge a little more. They do charge for shipping no matter how much you buy, so keep that in mind. And the shipping is relatively slow. So if you can, just wait. If not, BBTS has them in stock. Great figure, not $35 great, $25 great for sure. Maybe even $30. Maybe, just maybe. Hard pill to swallow, seeing as how the Shredder was a $30 figure. It was cheaper than this figure. But yeah. Anyways, so if you guys stuck around to the end of the video, thank you so much. Please consider giving this video a like. If you haven't yet, please follow the channel. We upload as much as we can. I upload as soon as I can get it. It's mainly Power Rangers based, with the occasional Marvel Legends, the occasional Star Wars, the occasional Dragon Ball, yada, yada, yada. But the main focus is Power Rangers. So until next time, guys, later.